This is for my sisters trapped in religion. Wake up and free the babies. sa.neter speak the truth, he's on a mission. Yeah, the house of consciousness, the final call, where your Bible umpers break up or just fall. In the house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially for like a lantern in the night, trying to wake up my sisters to the light. The house is closing in, and it's a total mess. You ignore my wisdom, the ultimate test. Step inside the hate showcase, the toughest terrain. When the truth hits hard, cuts brain thinner, trying to wake you with the word in my hand, to get you to the truth, to help you understand. I gave you the scriptures, chapters and verse. I gave you the keys to break the curse. I gave you Torah, especially true doubt. Welcome to the plane where the truth resides. No more hiding in the pews where the dice. Cash you speak against the Bible just to wake your inner sight. Come inside the HOK. We bring the light.
Peace and Black Power, family. Peace and Black Power. You already know what it is. We have an exclusive interview today, this afternoon. I got my sister Genesis in the building. This is going to be exclusive. Yeah, I did mix it up a little bit. You caught it. Hey, Keon, you funny. These diss songs is crazy. Nah, man, this is all good. But anyway, we got Sister Genesis in the building today. And I hit her up and I said, you know what? I would love to do an interview with you based off of what's going on, you know, what you up to. And we're going to get into this.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing? How you feel?
I'm good.
All right. Okay. I'm
glad.
to
turn my phone off because I don't want nobody to call in the middle because people be calling me. So
yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad you accepted this one-on-one exclusive interview. You're a very interesting person when I be hearing you speak. And, you know, I would love to know more about Ifa. And so I have a few questions for you. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What I would like to first ask you, can you introduce yourself briefly, and share your background before we get into Ifa?
Well, DJ Genesis, I actually am a DJ. And I'm DJ for over 20 years. Was in the military, Air Force. Booyah. And I'm also a software engineer. And I got into Ifa after being a Christian for about 30 years. And, you know, meeting Sarah Suit and Seti, and just by different learning things, even through your channel, it kind of opened up the doors for me to get into Ifa.
You talked about you was in the military. What military? What branch?
I was in the Air Force. Fresh out of high school.
The Air Force?
Yeah, I was in the Air Force.
What was that experience like, and how long have you been there?
Well, you know, my parents died at a very young age. And my brother couldn't afford to send me to college. So he was like, listen, you need to join the military because, you know, I got my own kids that they're about to go to college, same age, you know, because I was one of those kids that the parents had the kids late. And so you got these older, you know, siblings and they had kids my age. So when it came down to it, it was either they have to pay for me to go to college. When my mom died, you know, my brother kind of took over and raised me from that point on in Ohio. And really, it was you got to join the military. That way it'll make it easier for me to be able to put my kids through college and then still.
How long? You know, how long were you in the military?
I was in there for about 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. What was that experience like, I asked?
I didn't want to join the military, so it wasn't very happy for me. Gotcha. You know, I was an artist. I was wrote plays and this and that.
What were you before military? What were you doing professionally and personally before your spiritual journey began?
Well, no, and I was in high school before the military.
Okay.
So, but I was trying to be like a playwright. So I used to write plays, and I was into graphic design and all this other stuff. That's kind of how I ended up like getting into like actually after the military. That's when I got into what I really wanted to do, which was become a software engineer, getting into user experience design, and like being a software engineer.
Okay, so talk to us about what were you doing professionally and personally before your spiritual journey began?
So I had my own company, and I was doing websites for different like small businesses. I still do websites for small businesses. If you ever need a website, hit me up. I did websites and different mobile apps, and I still do mobile apps and different things for like small businesses. I was in Detroit at the time. The military was weird because when they kick you out, they kick you out. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like went through homelessness, after the military. I was in Washington, D.C. as a DJ working at Kinko's. I mean, I used to walk miles just to go DJ. DJing was so like, I loved it so much that I used to walk to go and DJ at the club. But, side by side, I was also like doing like graphics and working at Kinko's when it existed. Now it's FedEx, right? So, and I was going to hopefully be able to be a part of that whole new the FedEx Kinko rollout, and I was going to get like this big 401k when they went public. Didn't even get to get that. But yeah, I was, DJing, and, it's a place called U Street in Washington, D.C. And I was DJing at a place called State of the Union. And I put together the first female DJ tour of in America called Set It Off. And, I was, like DJing at nightclubs, and, and I put the whole thing together at Kinko's. I put the entire DJ tour.
What was your choice of music?
I was into drum and bass and house music, like house and drum and bass.
Okay.
Yep.
At that time in your life, what were you searching for or trying to understand?
Stability. I was homeless. I went through a homeless phase. I spent pretty much my entire year, my 20s, homeless. And actually, even my childhood, my mom, because she was sick, I was homeless even during my childhood, like back and forth being homeless. Like people had to take me in, like, what I'm saying? So it was weird. Like, so I kind of like that homelessness, when the military kind of kicked me out, it was like I had to kind of get it. When they do it, it's like, boom. I got like a general discharge for failure to adapt. I didn't advance as far as like becoming into the next rank.
Were you happy? Were you happy to get kicked out?
I kind of was. I'm not gonna lie.
You didn't like it. That you didn't really want to go. So
I didn't like the military. But
was it happy to get kicked out?
Kind of was. But now I'm looking back. I'm like, I should have probably stayed because I probably would have got more benefits and all type of stuff. But when you're young, you ain't thinking about, dang, I probably need to go ahead and see it through.
Well, that's not necessarily true as far as getting more benefits, because you had people in the war that's homeless right now, that's begging, that's on the street, that's messed up. So,
well, that's what's interesting. I was about to get sent to the war. Like what happened is that when I passed that test,
you was getting ready to get sentenced to the war.
Yes, if I passed that test, I was going to get sent to Riyadh. Like the moment I passed it, and people was going over to Riyadh, and they say, oh, you're going to be there for like, 3 months. And it ended up being like years before you can come back. Like people were, and I was the person that they would call like to talk to their family. Like I was information management. So I used to be like the continuity to the Air Force during like non-duty times. So I had the number to the president and everybody. Like if anything went down, my job was to call everybody and say, okay, it's time to go. So that was my job. Because I had tested high, like out of tech school. So they put me in a really crazy position as a airman fresh out of high school. Because I was like, with my like grades and everything, I probably should have been like in college, like with scholarships, but I just didn't even know it was even a possibility because my brother was just like, no, join the military. So
wow, that's crazy. So family, I want y'all to understand something out there. This is good. And I'm going to start interviewing a lot of people that come on. That way it gives y'all a chance to get to know the person, get to know a little bit about their background. So this is definitely exclusive interview. And so I want to ask you, Genesis, now that I see that you are a priest, and we're going to get into that, what first introduced you? How did you come into Ifa? How did you get to learn about the Ifa stuff?
Well, it's interesting. So what made me get into Ifa is because I was actually working very tight with SETI. I was his web developer. If anybody knows about Black Power Cartel.
I know. You created that.
Right. So what happened is that at some point I ended up moving down to Texas, and because he used to come to my house and his website, doing his website, because I was in Detroit, but I decided to move to Texas. And so like that connection was just like far further. And then I think that he actually did the show with Young Pharaoh, and he was supposed to do a show with Ankh and Young Pharaoh, talking about the sa.neter didn't even exist anymore. And I was like, what? Or couldn't be translated. And I had been like kind of getting into the Egyptian stuff, and I was like, what do you mean it can't be translated? And I think I said something to him like, what? Couldn't be translated, And so, that whole thing happened. And then it was interesting because a girl named Makia, my aunt, was like, you know what? You need to check out Ifa. And I got my first reading, and it was based on the situation that kind of happened between Young Pharaoh and Ankh and them, and that whole like craziness that happened where they were supposed to come and do the show.
Right. And they was going to do the debate.
And I think, what's his name? Umar Johnson, him started to go back and forth with each other.
Right.
And I was like, what is going on? I think I sent him an email like, what's happening? And so, and I think I had talked to him like a few times after that. And then we had, it was weird because I was still doing his website at the time, that I was really getting into Ifa. But then we got infiltrated. We got infiltrated by somebody that kind of like, they convinced us to move our server from overseas to LA. And then they end up taking the whole Black Power Cartel website down and just disappearing. Yep.
Yeah. If anyone out there in the world would like to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
You can contact me on my email address, or you can hit me up on IG. It's probably better on IG. It's at the same thing, DJ Genesis Detroit. That's how you contact me on IG.
DJ Genesis Detroit. That's how you contact her on IG. What about the email?
It's my name, monica.lockett@gmail.
monica.lockett@gmail. The reason I asked you that is because someone in the chat says how they wanted to get in touch with you. Can I put your contact and stuff up? No, so I'd rather let you say it if you want to.
Yeah, I tried to post it, but I guess because my has my name on it, it might not let you do it. But
you can do it.
I'm not afraid to put my name because all the people that hate me already put my name out there.
Yeah, if you want to, you can put it up. You can put it up yourself. I just gave you a mod, so that means you can put your contact up if you want to.
Yeah, so there you go.
All right, there it is, right there, family. That's how you can get in touch with DJ Genesis. All right. Was there a specific moment or experience that made you take it seriously?
Yes. So I had been getting readings for years. So I and I even got my warriors, what they call the warriors, which is like your Ilegwa and your, Osun and your Ogun pots. I got those first, and that was about maybe 6 years ago. Got those pots, and it was actually in the reading that I needed to get initiated, but I put it off. I was like, because initiation is not nothing to, it ain't cheap. So I was just kind of trying to delay it. I was like, man, what, $10,000? Because that's how kind of much it was to go to Cuba with the Baba that I had, my godfather, Baba Oreste Saino, may he rest in peace. It kind of came up in the reading, hey, you got to go get initiated. And I put it off. So about, I would say like 2 years later, I end up getting pregnant and having a baby
Your first one?
prematurely.
Your first
And
one?
he, no, it was my third, it was my son. It was gonna be my son,
Mm.
and he ended up coming very early, and I had COVID, and I almost ended up dying. And
Mm.
he ended up passing away because he was too soon,
Damn.
and
Sorry to
he
hear
ended up
that.
having what's it called narc uh it's a thing, intercolitis, neck,
Mhm.
NEC, something intercolitis. So that ended up killing him, and so after that, you know, I got a reading because after a death or whatever, but I pretty much was on my deathbed on my way there. They were like, "You about to die," you know, when I was
Damn.
having them, and so like, because I my blood pressure was like 200 over like 100 something, you know.
Mhm.
I had preeclampsia real bad, and so they took the baby. He lived for like about 2 months, and he ended up died of neck. Um, and so after that, I got a reading, and it came out you have to get initiated because it was pretty much like a life or death situation.
Mhm.
And so when I got initiated, that kind of brought me into where I'm at right now, and I was able
Okay.
to receive my head orisha, or yeah, and various other orishas. So
Mhm.
mine was like that. Yeah.
All right. I see people in the chat is asking questions, but I want to let y'all know the super chat do work. This is my business, so don't be afraid to spend $1 or two, $5. Super chat it. I will put it up. I will ask the question, and let's do this thing right. You know what I'm saying? So my super chat do work. That's all I want to let you know. If y'all want to cash app Genesis, let them know your cash app, sister.
It's just $ DJ Genesis Detroit. Same thing across the board.
Dollar sign. Oh, all right, there it is. $ DJ Genesis Detroit. Show some love and support the people. Support the fam. What did you initially think FDA was, and how has that understanding changed over time?
FBA.
Yeah, FBA. I'll say what I said.
It's interesting because FBA is a little bit more like down the line.
I
FBA.
meant that. No, excuse me. I meant to say IFA.
IFA.
Yeah, IFA.
When I
That's what I
first
meant
heard,
to say. I'm looking at something totally different. IFA.
so I'm just like everybody else. I'm from a Christian upbringing. I'm thinking it's voodoo, it's witchcraft, and everything else. But then it was interesting. Like once I got my reading, it was crazy because like when I got my first reading, it was almost like I can't describe what happened. You know what I'm saying? It was
Mhm.
it was almost like the sun shone through the. It was crazy. I can't. It would make me seem like I'm crazy or. But like when I was getting the reading and talking to him, it was almost like this enlightenment kind of came over me. Like wow, like how in the heck are they able? Because I've gotten like I've done tarot before. I've gotten like psychic readings before, but this was like something else. And so I began to do the research onto it, and I was like, wait, this is not just a regular psychic reading that's going on here. This is a little bit deeper. So it made me, and me being a software engineer and actually understanding like what and learning about the Odu over time and understanding how it was really based on a binaural system. Like I was like, okay, binary system. I'm sorry. And it was really based in like some kind of like mathematical equation that's like deeper than just a regular just okay, well the spirit is telling me this. It made me get more interested, like okay, what is this really, and so I spent a lot of my time even before I got initiated just learning about the Odu, the Igun, the ancestors, and the entire like kind of layout of what Ifa was. So before I even spent 10,000, it's not like because people say, oh, they robbed 10,000, whatever. Well, there's a little bit more to that. I see why, because I mean, you're dealing with the community, you're helping out the community. It's more to it than just like you're just I will get into that later. But when I actually was able to actually understand it, I was like, okay, this is a lot deeper than just regular spirituality or just regular believing in something outside of yourself. This is actually getting into the core of who you are. So.
Mhm. You had exposure to different spiritual communities. What did those experiences teach you?
Well, I had exposure to carbonation.
Uh-oh.
Right. I had them living in my house after Nature Boy
Oh,
kicked them
man.
off and it was going through that whole life sentence and this and that
Mm-hmm.
whole trial. Guess who was living at my house about maybe 4 years ago? It was the carbonation people that had left Nature Boy. Because I had always been that type of person that people come and like when they're down and out, that I'm the person that's always been the one that they call. I
Nature
need this.
Boy
So
was at the house as well.
huh?
Nature Boy?
No, it was Velvet was there, Shaka was there, people that at one point had been. Solar was there, staying with me at some point. And it was mainly they were going through stuff like after they had left that whole camp. They were going through a lot of hardships, and like I had Shaka there who was still close with them, and he was always in touch with them. And because I was working with him, business wise, when they went through something, it was asked, hey, can they come stay? And I'm going to help them get a job and this, that, the other, help them out. And I was like, sure. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what happened? The experience you had with them? Live?
I'll talk about it. So what pretty much happened is that, Shock and us was doing business. When I had lost my son in the hospital, during the time of me being in the hospital for 2 weeks, after because I had COVID and my blood pressure was up and down, I kind of ran into them on this thing called Bigo. Bigo is an app that people get on there and live stream. Mm-hmm. And I was like live streaming, like watching them. But I had already been watching Nature Boy and them, but I had ran into their stream and they was like doing that. And so like they was in Dallas and I was like, hey, I'm in Dallas as well, like let's like link up. So we linked up and they were showing me about Bigo. So I ended up joining their Bigo family and becoming a member of their family on Bigo and making money online. Because at the time I wasn't working. I had just had a baby, so I couldn't really work like that. And so they got me introduced to Bigo, and I was on there for about like maybe 6 months to 8 months, making money on Bigo doing live streaming. And we were going to because at the time TikTok was, people were like upset with Bigo and they weren't really, TikTok wasn't what it is now. And they were trying to find a way to find a better live streaming thing to make money off of. And so Shaka and I had tried to put together a different kind of app to be able to live stream with. Long story short, we kind of got into it from a business standpoint. Things didn't work out. They kind of like went around me and began to work with my developers behind my back. They tried to say that I was trying to get over on them and make money on the back end, whatever. So as time went on, when that situation had messed up 3 years down the line, or I would say like maybe 2 years down the line,
been that long?
Maybe about 2 years later, because I had gotten initiated and everything. Maybe it wasn't even that long. Damn, was it a year and a half? About a year and a half. That's when I got initiated. And they had reached back out to me and they were talking about how like they were in Mexico and things didn't work out and they were trying to get back there. So we put together a whole business plan to try to get them back to Mexico. They came to stay with me and we were going to like execute this business plan in Dallas, right? In my house I just bought, right? So we're doing that. We're doing business and everything like this. And then that's where we get the Charleston White interview. So that interview kind of got viral, but it kind of jealousy kind of kicked in. People got mad that I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do and this, that, the other. We had the tax bit. We had like things rolling, but people felt like my money, whatever I'm invested in, should be in them and not in whatever I want to invest in. So they got pissed off about the fact that I invested into doing a show and trying to create like I was trying to create like a TV, like a Roku station. and they got mad about that. Like, well, you should be investing in us, you know.
Right.
Now, meanwhile, I got like Jaguar right at my house. I got like, all type of stuff happening. My child's father is about 10 from Slum Village, and I had contacted Jaguar Wright because at one point on Bigo, like she was actually doing a whole expose on Nature Boy. And I was like, I had booked Jaguar Wright when I was a DJ back in Detroit, back in DC, and I wanted to reconnect with her and see if we could do a
Jaguar Wright stayed with you for a little while, right?
She never stayed with me, but she was coming over to my house. We were trying to do a documentary about 10, my child's father from Slum Village. And so she came and she was trying to put me with the right people to do the documentary. Everything was going good until, that's when I don't even know what was the kickoff. It was so much going on. Like
I've seen a video one time where she was going off on you.
She was, and that was based on that. There was a girl that was saying that she was Leah's child,
right.
And she had brought her down there, and she had kind of like convinced me that this person was in trouble, and knowing me, the person that always like trying to help everybody in trouble, and I let her stay at my house too. The love child, apparently the love child of Aaliyah and Mark Kelly that said so that Jaguar had convinced me to help her bring down. So bottom line is me trying to help people because of my form, like being homeless at one point and trying to help people put me in a bind. And so I ended up just like, it was crazy. So that's how I ended up meeting you. You met me at the end of all that bullshit that was going on, like when everything was kind of.
But now I want you to talk about what happened with the Nature family, Nature Boy family. Wasn't it? Because I've heard a lot. Didn't they ended up stealing from you, stealing your stuff, stealing your equipment?
Yep. So all that, like that I was trying to put together, like to create like this in this whole like TV station and everything like that. I had bought this house I'm in right now. They were still over at that house, and I was trying to use that house as a content house. They like left and took all the equipment.
Damn. And you couldn't find them nowhere. You couldn't press. You couldn't.
They didn't popped up recently. Bragging about how they got like a new house and they got a mansion and whatever. And they're trying to get everybody back together again or whatever.
How much equipment would you say they have taken from you?
It was about like $10,000 worth of equipment.
Oh my God, man!
I mean, imagine a year's worth of trying to piece everything together.
You didn't call the police or nothing.
I called the police, but the insurance would only give me like $1,500 because I didn't insure. I didn't get like renter's insurance because I was in my own house.
So you was able to get at least $1,500. That ain't nothing compared to
$1,500. Yeah, no. Didn't.
Oh man,
that's the lesson to learn. Is that you gotta watch out. People will lie.
How did those environments shape your understanding of spirituality versus reality?
Spirituality versus reality.
Because I always say I deal with realismism.
Well, ask the question again. How
does those environments, the Nature Boys, the other places that you've been, the different spiritual communities, how have those shaped your understanding of spirituality versus reality?
I mean, it helps me. What it makes me think is that a bunch of people, that everybody's on bullshit. Everybody just bullshitting when it comes to spirituality.
Right.
Because real true spirituality, especially when you get a person like a Nature Boy, people can manipulate that. One thing I did notice is that when people get like super spiritual, sometimes they get real freaky and weird, So I don't know why they all get freaky with it after a certain point. You know what I'm saying? They start to get real creepy and weird.
Have you since they've been there and you've been a part of them, have you ever joined their movement, Nature Boy and them?
No, I was against Nature Boy. I was the one that was I was trying
to allow them to come in the house.
No, it wasn't about Nature Boy. It was about trying to help the people that Nature Boy had victimized.
Oh, I got you. I see. All right.
I was trying to help them to like get back on track. And
okay, I got you. I see what you're
saying. But the way that he got their mind working, because it was so brainwashed that everything.
those were the people that left Nature Boy that you
Yeah.
were trying to help. Okay, I got you now. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like his girl, like Velvet, the one that he had beat up and this, that,
Yeah.
the other, and had the baby, and she almost died. And yeah, I was trying to help those people that, like, even Solar. Some reason Velvet and Solar got together and had a baby. I was
Mhm.
the one. She found out she was pregnant at my house with Solar's baby.
Mm.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. What lessons did you take from those experiences that still guide you today?
To not be bringing nobody up into my house.
Right.
But
Right.
I realized that what, no matter if you did help them, they're not going to appreciate it anyway. At some point, when you help people too much, they begin to resent you.
Yeah. Yep.
So you got to kind of let people like kind of fall on their face a little bit. You just let them, because that might be the lesson that God is trying to teach them, and you intervening in that almost puts you in a karmic cycle with them, to where you end up taking on their karma instead of them actually experiencing it the correct way. So they end up experiencing their karma later, but you end up experiencing it in the moment by just intervening at the wrong point.
Yes. We spoke a little bit about it just now, but I want to ask you the question just in case you want to add something to it. You've had some public facing experiences and some disagreements. How did those situations come about?
I would say a lot of time it's a lot of misunderstanding. Me not understanding social media and what to say and what not to say, what to even give any reverence to, and what, just not even understanding how to navigate things. Because when I was before, like, I had brought those people into my house, I wasn't on no social media like that. I wasn't like no public facing person. If you want to book me as a DJ, you can book me as a DJ at a nightclub, but you wouldn't see me like on social media broadcasting. You're right. And so when I had those people there, I found myself like on different panels trying to, speak up for them and this, that, but they weren't speaking up for their own self. But so that's another thing, that martyr complex, trying to like be the person that like stands up for everybody. I don't know. I had to like kind of get away from all that, And so a lot of that public facing stuff was me trying to call myself trying to stick up for people that really didn't even deserve to be stuck up for.
Right.
They just had to go through whatever, because they they might have deserved whatever the heck people were saying about them. Who knows?
Yeah, well, you better than me, man, because I've learned a lot dealing with Black people. Trust me.
Honey, listen, you can't beg me to come. I'll be like, okay, the homeless shelter is 6, blah, blah, blah. There's the address, honey, now.
Mm-hmm. How do you stay grounded when facing criticism or misunderstanding? How do you stay grounded?
Well, I don't give a fuck. No, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I just stopped caring. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, who are you? Who was anybody to say anything about anybody? Everybody got something, So a lot of times I would put like weight on what people said, and it would hurt my feelings. But now I'm just like, okay, whatever, And I would always feel like I had to defend myself, Someone saying something, honey, I would be the first person. Like, if you said my name 3 times, I was up on the panel trying to like raise hell,
Right.
My head Orisha's a warrior. Oh, y'all's a warrior. So you say something about me, honey. You said what you say? So I had to like learn it's futile to be up here trying to fight a battle that you're not gonna win, So
Right.
if they got something to say, who gives a crap? Because half the stuff, it's just out of jealousy and envy anyway. Like, what really, who's anybody to say anything about anybody?
Let me get you back on track. Let's get back to the information, to some real good stuff here. What led you to take the steps into becoming Orisha, Ifa priest?
Like I said, I was into the Christian church for about maybe 25 years, and I kind of like I said, I got into the Egyptian stuff, with SETI being around. That helped me to learn that, it was some atheists around. My house in Detroit was like the hangout. So we had all kind of intellectual conversations at my house.
Mm-hmm.
So
you and SETI by yourself?
No, he had a bunch. It would be him, his bodyguards, the Black Power cartel. They'd be there, like, because, he can't just come over somebody. He got to have backup because of what he's talking about. He got to make sure that, so he'd have a not a security guard, but like his cousin there to make sure if anything jump off. And I would be doing his website, like just sitting up there all day, just working on his website, but at the same time, I'm hearing him on the phone, talking to different people. He's teaching me stuff, I'm learning things. And so, it was pretty cool,
What happened with the fallout with y'all two? Because evidently something happened where y'all now separated, broke off, not talking no more, lost contact.
It wasn't, to be quite honest, we didn't have a fallout. It was just like he just kind of just dropped off. I think that something happened in Texas or whatever. I don't know what happened, but after that, he kind of like I think he just cut everybody off. I don't think it was just me. I think he just kind of just stopped talking to everybody and just started just being independent, doing his own thing. And I don't have no problem with that. Hey, do your thing. Right. I think that the website kind of messed. How that thing happened was crazy. I was like, wow. They took everything. Imagine having a website named there like a world star hip hop with.
Yeah, but look at what you named it. Not you, but what he named it. The Black Power Cartel. Look at what you think. The whole FBI want to know what the hell that's about.
Man, and the person that did it, and I had no idea about Mike Hayden, but the guy.
And then when they get on the goddamn internet, they hear him talking about white people and this and that, and they like, oh, hold up. We got to take this down. This got to come down.
Yeah, and they definitely was able to zero in on my naivete. I'm just a software engineer. I'm not really I wasn't even thinking about COINTELPRO or anything like this. I'm just like,
have they ever contacted you or something like that?
No, what they did, they on LinkedIn, this guy contacted me and he was like, oh, you do SETI's website on LinkedIn. Now, anybody else probably would have said, oh, this is, kind of like suspicious. But I'm like a regular software engineer. People contact me on LinkedIn all the time. So, oh yeah, I do his website, no problem. Oh, well, I'm a software engineer too. You don't know about, and he was talking about different concepts of how to like do things with JavaScript that I wasn't aware of. I'm just a regular software engineer, front-end developer. But he knew more. So I'm like, okay, we probably could like take this whole thing to the next level. Man, by the time he was through, he had us to move our servers from where they were to his server in LA and just disappeared.
Damn. He took that joint and gave it to the FBI.
Took it and removed, like just done.
Now
we tried to put it back. We tried to go to the archives, and it just that he made sure it was gone.
Dealing with Orisha and the Ifa priests, what does initiation actually requires that people may not see or understand?
Money. No, I would say that. I would say that it requires. I know mine's 9 days. It's very physical. When they say you're doing work, you're walking, you're doing it, you're walking, and it's a very vigorous. It's physically thing. There's like physical, a lot of like constantly moving around and just work for 9 days of walking over here and going over here and doing all this, so it could be whatever your Orisha number is, whatever that like week, whatever 2 weeks, whatever you might be there 2 weeks to a week or whatever. So it could be very, and then there's like a physical taxing of it. It could be mentally, but there is a moment of this clarity that kind of comes over you. I can't describe it, but I guess you wear somebody out mentally long enough that you won't have some clarity. But there is like it's a challenge. It's very challenging. It's not like just like it's not grapes and peaches. It's very challenging.
I hear you talk about Ifa all the time. You even try to get debates. You try to get people like the Hebrews or anybody to come up in here and debate you. Why is that so important for you to debate Ifa versus religion or religious people or Abrahamic faith people? Is it because you really want to teach the people the truth, or what is it?
because I want people to realize that separation is the illusion. And I don't want to sound like Nature Boy here, because he did say that, or whatever the guy is that he learned from. But what I want people to realize is that it's not that far off from what you already believe. I want to like dispel the illusion that this thing is witchcraft, it's evil, and this is this terrible thing. Because
that's what they saying about you, especially the Israelites. They think the same way about you. You believing in this African stuff.
Witch.
Right.
I'm a witch.
Yeah.
I'm taking people into my house. I'm trying to show them love. I'm trying to like heal people, and I'm a witch. I'm evil. Evil person. No.
How did your life change after stepping fully into your role?
Well, I would say is that I do still heal people, but I don't heal them in a, I would say, what's the word? A martyr way. Prior to Ifa, I was the martyr. I was the one, the all-encompassing. I wanted to be that ride or die. You call me, I'm your bestie. You don't have to give me anything. I'll just do it just because, and God will bless me in some way after that. And honey, what I learned is that there's a law called reciprocity. And so you don't just give, because that'll kill you over time. And when you're a priest and you know that you're giving away your energy, it taught me about energy. It taught me about exchange. It's one thing to give away something just to like to out of and then expect it to come another way, but it's another thing to continuously do that. It's draining. So what I've learned in this practice is that you just can't just be completely all encompassing of a giver. And before that, before me being an Ifa, I was like one of those like super givers that I'll just give because I want to be this all like this because Christianity, like I take things, I don't know if I'm neurodivergent, but honey, I took this turn the other cheek and give in Christianity. I took that literally. Slap you in the face, slap me. I'm gonna turn the other slap, and honey, they was, by the time they got done, they wasn't slapping, they was punching, and honey, and I'm just foul getting beat up, and ended up with nothing, and had to start all over again several times. And at some point, I had to learn, man. But if you ain't listen, law of reciprocity. I'll help you, you help me, work together. But that's the one thing in African spirituality. And I also learned that turn the other cheek ain't no turn the other cheek. African spirituality is not Christianity. Ain't no turn the other cheek. You F me over, fuck you too. You know what I'm saying? F you. Sorry, excuse my language. So African spirituality is not as forgiving as Christianity is, where you just supposed to look. You know what I'm saying? But most Christians don't be doing that, forgiving all the way. They'll get with you too. So maybe my understanding was different on what things should be, how it should. There's a time for this and a time for that. It doesn't mean that I'm a do something evil against another person, because I don't have to do it. At this point, I got, now I'm in touch with my spiritual court. Somebody does something to me, I ain't got to do nothing to you. I ain't got to light no candles. I ain't got to do anything. Ebo, I got to like kill no goat and like go ahead and, Do
you think that really works though? Do you think that really do work?
I'm going to tell you what, since I got initiated.
I'm talking about voodoo and stuff like that.
What I'm trying to tell you is that once I got initiated, karma hits people way faster when they do me wrong than it happened before. I'm gonna tell you. Once I got initiated and got in touch with my ancestors and got in touch with my spiritual court of the people that are the spirits that are like around me, that are like protecting me. When someone screws me over, I hear about it quick. Whatever it is that they gonna deal with, I hear that, they went through that. Oh wow, that's crazy. I don't do it. I'm not over here doing nothing to nobody.
Are there any secrets amongst the priests that I know you don't want to give it up? Like if you really want to do something, you might want to hold a picture up of someone and burn the picture.
I mean, people do that. It ain't no secret. This is the internet. This is an information age. You want to find out how to do something against people, that's witchcraft. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But you can do that. There's definitely things you can go on Chat GPT and find out how to do stuff like go on Google. How do I make
Are there secrets
a
amongst the
pot
priests?
or a jar. No, what's it called? Jar. Let me make
Listen to me again. Are there
jar.
any secrets amongst the priests that only the priest knows? Like when you get into masonry, they say the secrets of the masonry and stuff like that.
I mean, you don't tell people your whole initiation things that are because see the thing is the secret is that some things are personal to you and you don't let everybody know what's going on with you personally.
Mm-hmm.
That's the secret. The secret is shut your mouth and don't tell everybody your business. That's the secret. Everything going on with me is none of your business.
Mm-hmm.
That's my business. Okay, that's the secret. The things
Some
going
people
on
might say you need Jesus.
Personal business.
Some people might say you need Jesus. What do you say to that? This woman needs Jesus.
Well, I have Jesus within me. Jesus is already a part of me, and so I don't need Jesus. I'm already.
I said that because that's in the chat. That's in the chat. Somebody wrote this woman needs Jesus.
Okay, well, I already have Jesus. Okay. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? I need Jesus. No, honey. So you're thinking of Jesus outside of yourself. That's the problem.
Right. There you go.
Something.
And that's why you want to sit down and debate one of them so you could teach them.
Greater is he that is within me than he that is within the world.
Woo!
You're thinking about Jesus on the outside of you, then you're not even thinking about Jesus. You're thinking about something within the world and outside of you. Jesus is already part of me. So you need Jesus, and you need to learn that Jesus is within you, and then you wouldn't be telling somebody else what they need.
Wow! Drop that science on them. Drop them scriptures.
A lot of time, people. This is the thing that even got me away from spiritual Christian and like Abrahamic. Some of those that spookism aspect. I'm not spooked out anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not waiting on something to come as a thief in the night to come in the middle of the night to like make me be judged on my life and this, that, the other. I live my life and I try to be in good character and do things the right way and not try to hurt nobody. And I have been free. I feel way more free than ever I've ever been in my life. And I feel accountable for every decision I make. You know what? That's the one thing I would say that African spirituality brought is accountability. If something goes wrong in your life, then it is not anybody else's fault outside of your own. So you just have to deal with whatever the heck is wrong with you. And I've had to do a lot of I've sat in my bed crying many a times, trying to sort my stuff out. See, when you give it away to something else, then you can give that thing an excuse as to why this thing is happening to you instead of dealing with what's within and what's wrong with you.
Right.
Why am I attracting this? So everything that I went through that was wrong, whatever, is because I attracted it. And I had to realize that. And once you realize that, then you no longer attract it. You have to like come to a realization. But if I can blame the devil, I can blame the demons and all this other different things outside of like who I am and what I need to do. That's an excuse. So everything that happened to me with Jaguar, Carbon, it was me. It was because of what I was attracting, what I was doing to attract those things.
Right. So do you believe in the devil inside of Ifa?
No, so there's no such thing as the devil. You are the devil.
There you go. Come on.
You're the devil, you're God, you're the Orishas. Everything is all within you. You create all the things that happen in your world.
Thank you, Max Bird. Appreciate that. I'm glad I got you here looking in. Get all them suckers. That's being rude.
Another woman just running her mouth respectively.
No, don't read none of that. My man already deleted that. He probably blocked them for I'm gonna block him for the rest of the night. I give him a 24-hour block.
But you know what's crazy about that is these men to another woman talking or whatever. But the first woman you ever learned from was your mother. You tell your mother that,
right? There you go.
When she was teaching you how
to your daughter that, right?
When she was breastfeeding, was you like another woman trying to breastfeed me?
Right.
Feed me, give me something to eat. Another woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I got that sucker up out of here. For 24 hours. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully you have a better attitude and behave a little better with respect a little bit for the woman that's up here speaking to you, giving her perspective on her life. And you should appreciate that. Right. Because you too much of a punktified punk to come up here and just show your face and talk. So You know, I'll see you tomorrow or something, brother. For the people who are unfamiliar, how would you really explain Ifa in a simple but actual way?
How would I explain it in a really simple way? Okay. I would say it's about patterns. I say that most people think that they're meeting different people. They're actually repeating the same pattern in different forms. You know what I'm saying?
What about religion? Most people may
help you identify what the pattern is, whether it's emotional behavior or even tied to your decision making. That is what Ifa does. So that's what I would say. It's pattern recognition. It teaches you to understand that things are in patterns, signs, symbols. And when we actually notice the pattern, you know, I will tell you one secret that did happen to me in my initiation. Okay. They told me everything that's gone wrong into your life, you've been told, you just didn't listen.
Let me ask you this.
You've been warned about it. You just didn't listen. And let me just go into this. How many people have that inner dialogue? You got that voice that say, hey, don't do that.
Right.
Listen, This just happened to me. I still do it. Okay. I just drove my car to the car wash. Okay. While I was there, my car overheated. Something told me you better not get your car washed because it's going to overheat again. I cut the car off and I'm thinking, well, maybe they could just start it back up and then wash the car. And then by the time they get it into, they're just making up some bullshit. Someone's told me, don't do that. And I kept getting in my mind while I was in the thing, waiting on my car to be washed. Someone told me, your car about to go down. Honey, 5 minutes later, guy come in. Your car overheated. All the coolant just exploded out the thing. Boom. I don't know nothing about cars enough to somebody probably would have saw that same thing and didn't even need a voice to tell them this, but I just don't know about cars enough to think that that's a red flag. I was like, oh, okay, we'll just cut it off, you know? So, but I remember something told me. So a lot of times, you hear this voice and you just keep ignoring it over time. And you just hear this voice, better not do this. Don't do that. And it's a little voice that just happens you hear it in your head. Some people don't have that inner dialogue. So some of us do. Some of us louder than the others. That is the thing that they said. You've been warned all the time. You get warned. Warning come before destruction every time. And we ignore it.
Is there a sign about dreams that dreams try to tell you in reality? Like when you wake up out that dream, does dreams try to say something, or how do you break that down? Do you know anything about dreams?
Yes. I'm a dreamer. I tend to have dreams and prophetic dreams, and it's very important that if you do have those types of dreams, write them down. And it might not be immediate. It'll as time goes on, you write down your dreams. As soon as you
tell me about this dream that I had this morning.
Okay.
It was crazy, man. I had a dream this morning. Excuse me. I had a dream this morning. It was about over 50 or 100 kids. 15, 12, 13 years old. And they came running down the block. And I'm looking and everybody started running. I'm thinking they're shooting. I'm thinking something is happening. But they started throwing bottles at other people as the people were running away from them. And I'm standing in my doorway looking oh man, what the hell is going on? Next thing you know, they started coming my way. These little kids coming my way, looking at me. And as they get closer to me, I knew that they was under a goddamn spell. And they looking at me, and I shut the door, closed the door. Here I am running from 15-year-old kids, 12-year-olds. It was damn near 100 of these little bastards. And so I shut the door closed, and they kicked it open, and I'm running up the steps. This is crazy, yo. I'm running up the steps, and they caught me between the second and third floor, and they started hitting me, pounding on me. So I had this brick. I picked up a brick, and I started hitting them in the head. Pow, pow, and it didn't faze them. So they was under some type of spell. and it didn't phase them. And one of them had they had, you know how these kids wear their hair long, ponytail. So I'm in the hallway with, you know how you have this big open hallway and you could look down and you could just drop down. So I grabbed them by the hair and pulled them over the banister and I let them go.
It's like a movie.
Right. So this dream was crazy. So another one came by me and I did the same thing. I grabbed him and I had him over and he looked up at me and said, please, sa.neter, don't let me go. And I looked at him. I said, how the hell does little bastard know my name? How the hell he know my name? And so I said, damn, if I get bitten by one of them, I might end up turning to one of them. And so I grabbed him and I looked at him and he said, please, sa.neter, don't drop me. Don't drop me. And I just let him go. I said, nah, I got to let you go. And I dropped him. Next thing you know, I had a phone call and it woke me up out the dream. I'm like, damn, what the hell is this dream trying to tell me?
It seems to me like what it is like even like with this content creation and with this crowd that you have right now, you have a fear that that all the information that's coming your way is almost like they're attacking everybody else, that they're also going to come attack you, and then you are trying to battle your way and trying to like teach the people what you know, but then they're going to come and attack you as well. And at some point you have to actually let that go. You have to like say, you know what? I can't try to continue to force teach you. Either you're going to learn or you're not.
Yeah, but these kids was under a spell.
They're under a spell, right?
They were coming to kill you. They was coming to hurt you. Yeah. They had knives, they had bottles, they had everything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, trying to get the hell away from their ass.
It might be a subconscious understanding of what you're going through, even when you're dealing. It might even just be YouTube itself, and how like the YouTube framework and how like you're trying to bring the knowledge to people, and then everything is trying to like kind of go against what you're doing. But at the same point, you know, you're trying to teach the people, but people are saying, man, don't let it go. Don't stop. Don't let me go. The information that you're trying to bring to people, don't let me
knowledge. Go. I tell you, I didn't make that up.
Maybe for your own peace, you got to let it go. I don't know.
I didn't make that up, Ebony Knowledge. That's real stuff. Is Ifa a belief system, a spiritual practice, or something else entirely? Like, is it a religion to you? You might say it's not a religion, but other people might say that's just another religion.
No, it's a way of life.
Okay.
When you talk about religion, you know, I think that religion is like, you know, like putting you into a box. You can't go outside that box. Ifa doesn't put you into a box. You know, it actually helped me to learn more about other religions. Ifa don't say I can't go to a mosque. Ifa, so it's just a way of understanding different things, so that you can even have a deeper like understanding what your goal is here on this earth. Your whole goal is really based on Iwapele, your character, right? So when you talk about religion, you're talking about like there's like there is some other character kind of just dictating what you need to be in life. But Ifa is about the character that you are in life. Who are you, and what is your purpose here? And then through divination, the whole objective is to find your purpose. Like that's the difference. So everything is geared towards what you're here for, not what the consensus. I believe religion is all about the whole and not the individual. And what might be good for the goose might not be good for the gander in Ifa.
How does Ifa help people understand their life pattern and decisions? If anybody would like to be a part of that or get into Ifa, how does it help the people?
How it does is that, like I said, it goes like through divination, you know, and through understanding your patterns, it helps you to recognize the negative patterns in your life that you need to like kind of let go of, and it puts them in your face. One thing that happened after my initiation is my life got like turned upside down. But I had to let go of people, places, and things that was not conducive to me. So And I think that also happens even when people get baptized or whatever. Like any initiation, there is like a reckoning that kind of happens in your life where all these different things, they mean the right thing. I'm not against Christianity. I'm not against Hebrew Israelite. I'm not against Islam. I'm not against any of these structured kind of religious groups. I'm just saying is that with Ifa, when you go into you as an individual, what is my purpose here? Why am I here? I believe that gives you a structure as an individual to be able to go through life and actually achieve your purpose rather than like the overall like purpose of everybody else in the community, you know?
Mm-hmm. Can Ifa help people understand why they repeat certain relationship patterns?
Definitely. And they can stop you from doing it.
How so?
So the one thing that happens when you do an Ebo is it takes you out of the pattern of everyday thing that you do every day. So when you every day you get up, you brush your teeth, you take a poo, and then you just go outside, do the same thing every day, smoke some weed, and talk to your buddies on the corner every day. Where Ifa will say, "Well, don't you can't talk to your buddies this week. You got to do this. You got to do something else." It'll like the reading will literally come out like whatever it is that's it'll be like you can't drink for like 30 days. And if you follow it, things are going to like change in your life because guess what? Well, I used to drink with these people, or I used to eat a certain thing when I would go here. I used to, and so like it tells you about like things. Don't eat this. Don't do this. It gives you actual instructions individually. Now, if you say, okay, 10 commandments is just don't do this, don't do that, blah, 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 blah. That's cool on a community level. But I might have a problem with a specific thing. And what will happen during divination is 9 times out of 10, it's going to come out in that reading. And you're going to be like, it might say, don't talk to that guy. It might say that don't talk to him for 30, whatever. It'll say, don't do that. It'll give you an actual, like, don't do this. Do this. You know, it gives you instructions versus it just, you have to kind of like just figure it out. That's the difference.
All right. If anybody would like to come in and ask DJ Genesis a question, the link is in the chat. If y'all would like to come in and maybe.
I have to go to the restroom real quick. Just give me
yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah, if anybody would like to come in and ask her a question, y'all could come on in and do that. I got some more Ifa questions for her. The link is in the chat, so. She's taking a bathroom break. Well, what's wrong with Umar? Because he practices that too. No, he don't. Omar really don't practice that. He could say he do, but he don't. He's a hypocrite. He's a scammer. He's a liar.
But you know what? Here's the thing. You know what? There's place in the world for that as well. To teach you not to do to see. Here's the thing. There in Ifa, there's a place for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody serves its purpose. There's people out here they're meant to just be who they are. You know, they came on this earth to be that.
Yeah, you have a background of technology and systems. How does that influence you? How does that influence how you interpret and practice Ifa?
Well, what it did was it gave it that's the reason why I got into it. I said, dang, this is Africans had like a binary system. It made me really respect the ancestors, like that there's people that created something like ancient that was so complex, you know, because my prior understanding of like ancient African tradition, even though we were talking about the Egyptians and this, that, the other, I still kind of like was like, honey, they living in mud huts over there, you know. And so I wasn't respecting I was like thinking, but as I look, it made me respect, the ancestors and people that came before me a lot more, and even know about the ancestors. So, because before that, I was, my grandparents died or whatever. I wasn't like giving no reverence to them, honey. They died and that's it. I wasn't even going to the funeral sometimes. But now I'm like, okay,
What's the brother name?
It's not destroyed.
What's that brother name that you interviewed? And I seen him, and I was like, yo, that's that brother right there. Man, him used to get it in the chest all the time. He was an Ifa priest.
Who? Chief? The chief from Oyotunji, I think his name is
from
Chief.
New York.
Yeah. What's his name? I forget. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah,
he's
the chief of Oyotunji village. Yeah,
I know him as Tony.
Yeah, yeah.
When I seen you interviewing him, I was like, "Oh shit, you got Tone up there." But I mean, he's a master chess player. He would be in the park. He would be in the park with us when I would go to the chess park damn near every day, and he will beat the brakes off me. And I would go there to just look for him because I would learn from him. And he would sit me down and we go in and he would teach me that. And I'll make a movie. He said, "Sorry, don't do that. Don't do that." And I said, "Why not?" Being all arrogant. He said, "Because this, I do that. I'm like, damn. What was you going to say?
I was going to say is that's another thing that really amazed me about Ifa is like when you actually talk to the Babalawos.
Yeah,
like,
he was
they don't just know about Ifa.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when the priest of the tradition could pretty much talk to you about every religion that you ever think. To me, I'm like, these people have become masters at pretty much if you could be like, okay, what about this religion? What about that? And they know about it like on a very high level, like not just a surface, like a high level being able to talk about, but be able to go get down into it and break it down. So to me, I'm like, well, dang, if I'm going to follow somebody, I want to like, not a follow them, but if I'm going to like be taught by someone, I would like to be taught by someone that has a well-rounded understanding of everything than just a person that only is specified in one thing. And one thing I do know about the Babalaos and a lot of these Ifa priests is that they're able to break things down from a biblical standpoint. They can break it down from a Torah standpoint. They know about the think about Professor Smalls. He is a Baba in Ifa. So look at how he was able to break down everything from every different level. That pretty much, I believe, across the board, every Ifa priest I've ever ran into is able to do that when it comes to Babalawo, those type of priests like that.
Did you see the interview with him and Apostle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so and like to me, I'm like, I think it's interesting because when people want to say that people, well, that's witchcraft. So that means that witch, I guess that means wise, because a lot of those people can break down everything, every different standpoint. Think about like people throw Islam at him. They threw Christianity at him. They threw the Torah at him. And he was able to talk about it from a very, very intricate level, but he still chose Yoruba and Ifa. Why is that? Even though like he knows about all these different things, but for some reason, this is like the thing where he said, okay, this is kind of what I want to kind of like, make like the highlight of what I'm, talking about. Why? Because Ifa tradition does not make you have to choose either or. It makes you be able to study everything and have a deeper understanding of what everything is. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's deep there. How do you bridge ancient knowledge with modern day life?
To continue to talk about it and continue to have discussions and like talk about like what's going on now and then compare it to like the scholars of those times and the people that like actually did the research. But when we actually just make it so that we want to demonize one thing over the other, oh, voodoo, that's witchcraft. Oh, that's that's this, that, the other. Blah. But I think that people are beginning more that more practitioners of Ifa, because I'm not sure if you realize it, there's more practitioners coming out and talking about it rather than trying to make this secret thing society of no, we got to keep this over here or don't tell. Now people are beginning to talk out about it, and you're beginning to realize that people, you might have the wrong idea of what's really going on. And that goes into a lot of like ancient African earth-based practices, is because there was so much mystery, because people like kind of kept their hands close to their thing to kind of preserve it, that people were able to make up things, including the colonizers, you know. And so now that people are coming out and bringing it out and say, okay, this is what it is, more people are going to realize that it's not what they think it is. So
Right.
And I'm here to help to foster bringing that thing out. That's why I'm talking to all the people I've talked to on my channel, like are in there, have had like E5, been in E5 for like 40 or 50 or more years, white or black. Let me just say that doesn't matter what color you are, because people wanted to like say that because I had Olufala Kun on my channel, but you know, he has like 48 years in the EFOP. He's wrote like 14 different books. Why wouldn't I have him on my channel? Right. I had Baba Yashabaya. Baba Yashabaya spent X amount of time in the Hebrew Israelites, and he also was around during the whole civil rights. I had Reverend Whoopass. He, you know, all the people I talked to.
Yeah, I like Reverend Whoopass. Where he at?
Yeah, he's still around. Just talk to him.
Yeah, I like him. He go in, man.
Like, I'm not sure you guys realize, when it comes to this type of stuff, I talk to the old people. Like if you like 79, 80, you know.
Yeah, Reverend Whoopass ain't no joke. That's the perfect name for him, bro.
Yeah,
for real. He get up in here and he get it in. As old as he is, he love it.
Right, and you know, Baba and him and they used to have a whole group called the three horsemen, and they used to sit around and do the research, and a lot of people know them. You know, they were around during a lot of those different things. So I'm like, to me, I like to get my knowledge from like people that's like 79 or above.
Right,
you know,
that's the best.
75. You know.
Yeah. That's why when I be walking the street, I be trying to catch the older people. I ask them.
Guess what? When that knowledge leaves with them, that's the problem, is that there is a knowledge drain. And the more that we have like this technology and everything like this, you're gonna have like people are getting away from talking to the elders, and then they're just looking up on Google rather than talking to an older person that might know. That's one thing that this whole technology is getting us away from, is actually talking to each other. So I'm glad that you have your platform, because it still allows people to, like the elders, to actually talk with the younger people. But at some point, you know, it could get to the point where then if we have to only go off of like the people our age and below, do you know how much information will be lost? So I really appreciate your platform, because I believe that the elders should be talking to the young folks.
Right. I agree. How do you handle situations where someone may not want to hear the truth revealed to them?
Bye. Listen, I'm not an evangelist, you know.
Right.
You don't want to hear it? Bye. Okay. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna try to shove it down your throat. Like, okay, well, all right, you got it.
How do you ensure people don't become dependent on spiritual guidance?
Yeah, E5 is not about
a lot of people there's a lot of people that spooked out, and they don't do certain things because they say, oh no, you know, on this day here, I can't really do this because this the day of, you know, they do that. They get so deep into it. And I'm gonna tell you who used to do that all the time. Bobby Hemmett. My man Bobby Hemmett. He was so deep into his spirituality, and he would say, well, on this day, this is that, and this is this, you know, he would go in on that. And I think Queen of Four as well. Shout out to Queen of Four. And another one I'll tell you, Baba Heru, rest in peace. They would wear certain colors on certain days. Shout out to Brother Jabari, Osaze. They would wear certain colors. You know, purple is for this day and stuff like that, you know.
Well, I would say this, is that now certain people have different things that they do for themselves to help them get through. You know, if you, like I said, if you walk to school and carry your lunch, you know, every day in the right hand.
Ooh, good question, Dazali. Go ahead, finish. Good question, Dazali. You see it, Genesis. Read that.
What about, okay, your spirituality gets in the way of your science.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, real talk.
So what does that mean?
It means like, what if you're like, some people don't believe in science. They would deal with their spirituality as, oh no, Jesus said this, God said this. That's not, you can't find that in the book. So that's what he's asking you, something similar to that. What if your spirituality gets in the way of your science thinking?
I think people have a form of spiritual OCD.
What's that?
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Okay.
Live your life. Okay.
And Dizali is right. A lot of people let their spirituality, let their religion get in the way of science because they will choose that Bible over a science book in a minute. You put two books in the corner, they running towards the Bible because they fear that God will get them if they don't choose him. They fear that. So yeah, your spirituality does get in the way of science.
So one thing that when I left, I wouldn't even say spirituality. I would say when I left religion, because religion, I believe, is one thing that gets you away from science. Spirituality does not take you away from science.
Do you believe in evolution?
Yeah.
You agree with evolution? Okay.
But hold on. What type of evolution? A baby in your womb evolves. It goes from a sperm, the sperm hits the egg, and then the baby comes in the womb and it evolves into the human being and it becomes in 9 months. So yes, I believe in evolution. That's obvious. A plant, a seed evolves. So everything that we see around us is showing that evolution exists. Now, is it the Big Bang? Is it that we came from apes? I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, Genesis. The minute we mention evolution, I want to know this, Genesis. And maybe you're not the person to answer this question, but how come when we talk about evolution, the first thing people do is say, we don't come from apes. I don't think you hear Unc, Reggie, or any of the people that say they believe in evolution say that we come from apes. The only one that I heard to teach that was inside the cube.
Well, that's who I debated, right?
Right. And you beat him.
Here's the thing.
But he's the only one I heard say that. He will come right out and say, we are monkeys. He'll come out and say it.
Right. And I would rather say I don't know before I say that I know. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather say I don't know. But I would debate you on it because hell, I like a good debate. You know, I would say this is that, like I said, I believe in evolution, especially the things I can actually see. You know what I'm saying? Evolution happens every day around us. You know, every fall, tree things grow. You know, they die, they grow, evolve. You know, and I believe I believe in that like form of evolution. You know,
I said
a rose bush is not going to create a fucking. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Ashe, you said Unc said that as well, that we come from monkeys. Come on, Ashe.
Listen, a rose bush is not going to create a head of cabbage. It's going to be a rose. It's going to evolve. It's going. So, and that's what Ifa believes in, the cycle of life. Like, you know, you're born and reborn, you know, through your bloodline. Just like a rose is like born and reborn as a rose. But if there's something out there, whatever, I'm not here to say otherwise. I'm not an archaeologist, but I will debate you on it just for the hell of it, you know, because I just like to debate.
Yes. Is there anybody out there who want to take on this Sister Genesis? Don't be afraid. She gets it in. She do love the debate. Her debates are professional. She don't deal with the ad hom. She straight up deal with information. We got my man Dizali in the building. What's up, Dizali?
Yo, just had to silence my other stream. Hey, Sa, what's up? What's up, DJ Genesis?
Hey, Dizali, how are you?
Your name makes me want to call you Sega Genesis for some reason, but Sega.
If I told you what my real name is in E5, then I prefer listen. The actual name that I have in E5 is Ade-iku.
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 I like that. Ade-iku.
Guess what that means?
What?
Death's crown.
Oh, man.
Death's crown. I've heard of a flower similar to that. But yeah, Genesis, I wanted to touch you up on what Saul was just saying concerning about when specifically us black people, well, I should not say specifically because other people also suffer from it, but when our spirituality and our ideology and our theology gets in the way of our science. Now, let me show you what I mean by that. I was just having a conversation with someone earlier, and I was saying we can't name one black country, one black nation that is a world power. We can't name one that is a world power. And then I also wanted to, I also gave that person a little insight on what happened when the colonizer got to Africa. I read a book from a citizen of, I forget the darn nation over there in Africa. And it was basically a biography of when the colonizer first got there. And I'm just going to make it real short. But what happened was when the colonizer first got there, instead of those people getting their science right and getting their weaponry right, they said that they were going to let the ancestors handle them. Don't worry about it. The ancestors will handle them for us. That is very similar to, let's say, Christianity. Don't worry about it. Jesus will handle that for us. You can take it to Islam. Don't worry about it. Allah will handle that for us. See, that's something that's very common with us black people. Don't worry about it. The other higher power will handle it for us. And that mindset has got us where we are right now, getting stepped on by everyone else. Stepped on by everyone else. Not one black nation is a world power because we don't have to worry about it. Jesus will take the wheel for us. But yeah, go ahead, DJ.
Okay, so the biggest mistake is for you to think that the ancestors are outside of you. The ancestors' blood run through your veins. They're in your DNA. So it might be like they're saying that the answer, that does not mean that we're talking about something outside of ourselves. See, the thing is that when you talk about Jesus, you're talking about some kind of person outside of yourself. When you're talking about Allah, not Allah, not Allah, because Allah is God. But if you believe in God within, then yeah, God will handle it because the God within, But if people are like you, I mean, if I was saying that, I would be like, I'm talking about, yeah. I believe that the ancestors from within and the ancestors from without. You know what I'm saying? I believe in the spirit of the ancestors, and I believe in the spirit of the ancestors within me, and I believe in the spirit of the ancestors that are also manipulating energy around me in my best interest. So, but I don't believe that it's like separate from me either.
I feel you there. I mean, that's how I understand it also, because I'm not an atheist. I would consider myself as a Christian. The only difference is I separate my Christianity from my science. If you ask me something about Jesus, I will quickly tell you that it's pseudo. I can't prove it. I just believe in it.
Well, you can prove the ancestors. All you gotta do is like take your blood and look at your DNA and look at what you can. If you get your grandma's blood and you get your blood, their blood is coursing through your veins, DNA evidence, all that stuff. That's why they always ask you, hey, do you have any prior? Does any of your grandparents and your ancestors that exist in your family have any ailments or whatever? Because that's the whole thing is genetics. So yeah. So I think the difference is that when we talk about something or thinking of a deity out, you can't lump the ancestors into the same category of a deity outside of yourself.
Well, I would lump them into the same category as me. I'm a man of tangible things, There's not a deity outside of me that has done anything. There's not a deity outside of me that has made me be able to then levitate. There's not a ancestor that has made my my skin bulletproof. So neither of them have really done anything for me tangible in this tangible
the
world.
ancestors have. Then you're here. You wouldn't exist if there weren't ancestors that gave birth to and hooked up and did what they had to do. So
Roach is here.
Exist.
Roach is here.
No, but I'm saying, but you're here. No, let's not. No, roaches is outside of yourself. Are you a roach?
I'm just saying we are all organisms.
Right, but your ancestors are the thing that make you alive. So when you say the ancestors ain't did nothing for you, yes, they have. You're alive because of your ancestors. You wouldn't even exist.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna chase around that one. We can chase all types of circles with that. But I think that's where a lot of our people get, like I said, while we're at the darn bottom, we are chasing around stuff that doesn't bring any power, nothing.
Are we at the bottom?
We're at name one black
what
nation.
Makes you think that we're at? Why do you think that? Well, listen.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times that people like they confuse the top with like a place of like like that's the place to be. Have you been watching what's going on in the world today? The people at the top. Do you see what is happening? There's a reckoning happening that's going to blow your mind. You think that there's people at the top? They're not at the top. Their day is coming. It's the people. Listen, what did it say? Even in the Bible, it say the first shall be last, the last shall be first. But here's the thing: is that you don't want to envy those people that are in those positions. That are ruining the earth and doing those things.
All right, hold on.
That a long time. All right, go ahead.
People that actually
hold on.
To the earth,
brother Ashe, who's feeling a little certain kind of way about this conversation right here. Let me bring in Ashe. Ashe, I see you shaking your head, you thumbing down statements. What's going on, brother?
This great interview, man. Great interview by DJ Genesis. I'm gonna ask you about the IFA at the end, but to just sit here and hear these things like the reason why Africa or we don't have a black superpower is because spirituality or something like that is just like that's insane. It like goes to prove like I don't know if it's an agenda being pushed or you just didn't study the history of the continent of Africa and just all of the ailments and all of the setbacks, all of the times that Africa as a continent has been targeted by outsiders. That's the reason why it's not a superpower. There are only two superpowers right now. That's the United States and China. Everybody else is trying to reach that point. Everybody, like Russia, Germany, those are not superpowers. They're trying to reach superpower status, but there are only two, right? And when you go into, especially the United States literally was built on the back of the African American, right? So it's like they have us to a credit for everything that they even have going on over here. And let's not try to act as if Africa is not advancing. Everybody, you think China divorced their spirituality? No, they're just as spiritual as they've ever been. You get what I'm saying? They still doing their practices and everything. Let's not act like Africa has not advanced in technology. Let's not act like Africa has not made advances. We have made the same advances that China has made. The only problem with Africa, and always has been with Africa, is the lack of a strong military force and that seeking of world domination. That's just something that nobody on the continent of Africa have ever done. These other people, they really want those things. Why? Because the land that they in is not that abundant. So they got to be leeches to other people. Like, tell the whole truth. Don't try to act like, let's be honest. Did we really give that much about Jesus Christ and all of that stuff when we was in slavery? Or were we just trying to survive? And even when we came out of slavery and we built things like Black Wall Street, was that built off of religion and spirituality? Like, don't just squat on the people like that. Like that's harsh, and that'd be sickening to hear. Go ahead.
And didn't we also build up Black Wall Street, but then it got crumbled down? So do we actually admire the people that crushed us, or say like, look at them, they're in such a high position, and we ain't did nothing. Look at how they crushed us. We ain't nobody.
Let me ask you this,
victim
DJ
mentality.
Genesis.
That's victim mentality. BS.
Let me ask you this, DJ Genesis, and anyone else on the panel. See, this is what I see with our people. Now, what I am into zoology, the natural world. I actually study all type of animals and their behaviors, etc. How many of y'all don't know that this world is eat or be eaten. I mean, I know that us humans have created this artificial bubble where the meek has a place and, you know, they could be given things. But in this actual natural world, DJ Genesis, you really rock with the natural world. The actual natural world says, if you can't stop me from doing this to you or taking this from you, you may as well just go and cry about it. We understand that's how the natural world works, right?
You know what?
No.
There's an actual what is that? It's an actual creature on this earth. I forget what it's called. It's a honey badger. That's what it's called. The honey badger. I think
Okay,
that
right there.
people are closest to the honey badger, right? People like lions will try to bite it, snakes will try to eat it. I mean, and we still here, bro. Like they try to do everything. Honey, it'll go to sleep for us. I get bit by a cobra, go to bed, wake up. All right, honey badger still moving, you know. But you don't want to. You want to say, oh well, I wish the honey badger don't wish he was a lion. It just be a honey badger. It's a honey badger, and guess what? The lion will probably die faster than the damn honey badger would.
And let me
going against the honey badger. The skin is too thick to penetrate it. It's one of the most vicious animals. They sometimes there's animals that run against this little thing called a honey badger. So you don't want to you want to be the honey badger wishing he was a lion. Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm sorry, Ashe. I'm sorry, Genesis, but I have to agree with my brother Dizali based off of what he's saying. As far as we don't have a superpower, we don't have an army. And the reason why they was able to take Wall Street from us is because we didn't have an army to uphold it. See, when you are building something, you can't just take it from Europeans. Why? Because they got an army to protect it. And when we are building something like Black Wall Street, anybody could come in there and just take our stuff. Why? Because we don't have the backing. We don't have the power to protect it. That's what Dizali is saying to y'all.
That is not what he said. That's what I said, Sa. He said that we was focused on spirituality and religion. That ain't what he mentioned no military. I mentioned the military
point that was included with the point that I had made.
Yeah.
And it's idiotic. I don't care if Sa agrees with it or not.
I knew Apostle was coming.
And it's the most idiotic thing I ever heard in my life.
Oh man, go in, Apostle. Go ahead.
Go in.
South Africa is a world power. They got a nuclear system.
Oh man.
I don't care how they got it. They got it. Japan got nuclear system. I don't care how they got it. They got it. Iran, they don't know if they got it because China or Russia could have given it to them by now. So they don't know. Okay? One reason I noticed Iran ain't backing off. If they wanted out, Trump gave it to them, and they said that to Trump. That's what they said to Trump. F you. We don't care. You can send all your soldiers over here. In fact, that's what we want you to do.
Yeah, but Apostle, South Africa is not a nuclear power, bro. I don't know where you get that from.
I thought they got it through Israel.
No, sir.
They took it back.
I'll look it up, but I think they got it through Israel.
No.
Yeah.
People who had gave it to them took it back. They took it back.
How can you take it back once I got the knowledge? I built it on my own once I got the knowledge. How in the hell are they going to take it back? Man, that's silly. That's silly. But let me finish with my statement, man.
Okay,
because as far as blacks being, that right there ought to tell you something. Why no quote unquote black country here in America is supposed to be. We know it's supposed to be.
Hey, Apostle, but hold on, Apostle. I'm sorry, Apostle. I want all questions to go to Genesis because it's her show. I don't want to mess the show.
I'm giving it to Genesis.
Yeah.
No, but if he want to answer that craziness, that's
I'm giving it to Genesis. I'm just responding. That's
question.
I was sitting here when Dizali said that. So that ought to let you know there's something intelligent behind this. Because white folk believe in Jesus. They believe in him so much they made him white for 2,000 years. What the hell?
Poor white folks believe in Poor.
So
Poor. Did you hear me? Poor white people believe in Jesus.
Now, I don't care. Now, they believe in him. There's a lot of rituals out there.
They believe in themselves. They think they God.
Most of the rich pastors are white. And the ones that are black are African.
Yeah, because they are the pastors. So they white. They get money.
I'm just saying.
Right, they the one that's getting the money.
They let you know there's another power at work here. There's another power at work here. And the power I'm just so happen to say, Esau is the end of this world. Jacob is the beginning of what is new. That's in Ezra.
What does that mean when you say Esau is the end of the world, Apostle? What are you talking about?
And the Bible also talks about when the church come to its fullness, the Gentiles will be in charge.
Right. What do you mean when you say Esau is the end of the world?
Meaning those that are going to be in control when the world ends, when it ends, is going to be the wicked.
And who is the wicked?
Is going to Esau.
And who is the wicked?
Esau.
And who is Esau? And who is Esau?
He's the white man.
And who is the righteous man?
Jacob.
And who is that?
Israel.
Oh man.
So Jacob wasn't even righteous in the Bible, man. But
okay.
Well, I don't want to go into the Bible. I can't even argue about the Bible. Let's just bring this back to
Jacob's name was changed. We know Jacob. God chose Jacob, man.
All right, hold on.
I want to ask the sister about the Ephah.
I don't know enough about the Bible enough to.
Hold on, that's a good conversation, Ashe, for the next show, and we're gonna make sure we deal with that. Apostle, you got to come on for that. But go ahead, ask
I didn't get to ask her about the Ephah.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about, since we even own this biblical conversation? How do you feel about active Ephah members identifying and making statements like they come from Israel and that they are Israelites? Apostle, I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with that.
You asking Genesis, right?
Yeah. I'm asking Genesis though, but I know as Ephah, he heard of it as well.
There's people that practice Ephah all over the world. There's people in China practicing Ephah, Japan. They're all over the world. There's people.
How does that work?
All over. Because Ephah it has been around. It's traveled. The actual way of life has traveled. Mm-hmm. Just like Taoism, there's people here that are Taoists. There's Taoist priests.
When you say the way of life
all over the world, yes.
When you say the way of life, what does that look like? You know what I mean? Like, what does that look like?
Divination, herbs, understanding Iwapale, understanding like the spirituality behind Ifa. Ifa is a way of life. Just like Taoism is a way of life, Ifa is a way of life.
All right, Apostle, you got a question for Genesis? Anything about Ifa or religion? Anything? Go ahead.
She had mentioned while she was a Christian, she struggled with that turn the other cheek. And I can understand that, because when you lack understanding of something and you think something is saying, if somebody's trying to kill you or if somebody's trying to do harm to you, don't stop them. Don't defend yourself. Don't protect yourself. Just let them do it and walk away. If you believe that doesn't even fit the character of an individual that came into the synagogue with a whip and kicked the money tables over and kicked the money changers out of the temple. So it will make you think, if somebody's trying to come to you, they're not going to slap you in your face. That's understanding that culture. To slap someone in the face is to bring assault. That's like taking your glove and smacking somebody in the face. You're not trying to kill them. You're saying, screw you. You're bringing insult. And they saying, don't exchange insult for insult. You don't have to. Because that within itself can lead to someone dying.
Well, honey, I wish that they would have explained that to me when I was a
Well,
kid.
that's what that is. If you looked at it and read it, even the proceeding.
But imagine that you're being
take you to court.
Childhood, and so that begins because
Yeah.
that's all you know. So and then you live your life that way.
Yeah,
They'll teach you like, hey, that just doesn't mean this. It just means don't trade insults. I wasn't taught that.
I don't care about
turn the other cheek.
Hey, I'm telling you what is behind that particular script. No one is going to kill you, or I'm not going to try to really do harm to you just by slapping you in your right cheek and me offering my left cheek. The reason why I will offer my left cheek is because I recognize he's not trying to kill me. It doesn't make
what
sense.
they should have said is to offer him your ass, your booty to kiss, and
and then that would be wrong too.
And say, "Get the heck
You
away!"
see, that would be equally as wrong. Why are you going to offer your butt to anybody?
No, just say it like, just leave me alone.
I wouldn't offer my butt to nobody.
Right.
I don't know about you.
All right. Anyway, listen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to say something funny, but listen. The main thing I wanted to kind of get at is that when you talk about, because I wanted to like kind of get to what the brother said earlier when it comes down to being a nation, a powerful nation, and this, that, the other. And my question would be, would you rather be the nation that is destroying the earth or the one that replenishing it? Because right now, all of those nations that you call yourself the powerful nations, their population is going down. Their ability to have children is going down. But you know what? Africa is steady going up. You know, their population is growing. They're having more children. You know, and even the black people in America are having they're coming up. They're not dwindling down. So I don't think I would want to be those nations, and that's really what all this whole scramble is because they know that their time is up and time is coming, and so they're trying to do anything to remain controlled. So I wouldn't be in a position to be talking bad about like the spirituality and how spirituality is not working for us because these nations are powerful. Because you look at the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, he works for me.
What are they doing with their nations? What is happening with those nations that are so powerful? These powerful.
Yeah, and I think that brother definitely presented more of a European aspect when he presented that carnivorous lifestyle. You know, we were in the dog eat dog world. You know that's not. What do you mean? You know
that's
not even a black way of even or African way of even looking at things. Like what are we
talking because we come from?
That's why he.
Hold on, wait, Apostle, God, Lord.
No, I'm just letting you know that's why he left the panel.
Apostle, stop talking over the people. Let them finish, brother. Let them make a point.
Because that's what comes with actually having an abundance. The brother, a lot of us don't like him, but I respect the statement that he made. Dr. Umar, he presented the Iceman inheritance. How, you know, when you actually coming from abundance, you don't feel that need to take from nobody else. Matter of fact, you will be more willing to give to somebody. You know, I mean, I got it in abundance. I give it to you. But when you coming from desolates, when you coming from nothing, when you coming from bottom feeding, it's natural for you to be stingy. It's natural for you to be. It's natural for you to be controlling. It's natural for you to be taking stuff. It's natural for you to be possessive like that. So that's their approach. That's their MO. That's how they naturally are. We're naturally not like that because we come from abundance. That's the difference between us and them. And I'm sorry, but that's just the cold hard truth. A lot of us try to adopt those ways to try to compete with them, and I get it, like in business ventures and stuff like that, but it goes deeper than just business because a lot of times we bring that same Iceman inheritance back to the family. You know what I mean? When we treat each other real cold and we treat each other real bad, we begin to mimic that European. And that's all I heard when our brother said that. This ain't no dog-eat-dog world. This is a dog-eat-dog world for the Caucasian, not us.
And what is wrong with a spirituality that talks about personal and character development? What's wrong with that? What's
Right.
wrong with character? What's wrong with developing your character to be a better person so that you could like actually make a good mark on this world and make things better? Like, what's wrong with that?
Right.
Why would you come up to a panel and say, "Oh, okay, well, you know what? We're losing our power. We're not a superpower because of all this character development and personal development we're doing."
All right, go ahead, Apostle. You can speak. You're on mute, brother. You're on mute.
I was agreeing with him, and I was saying that's why he left the panel. I wasn't trying to take or stop his dialogue.
Yeah,
I wasn't trying. I was agreeing. I was just letting him know that I agree with him. That's all. You know, big deal.
No, it's all good. You just got a big voice, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you his mic is loud, and sometimes he don't be hearing when you're saying something. So we got Reggie in the building. Reggie, do you have any questions for Sister Genesis on the Ifa, on Orisha, and all of that? Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna unmute my my camera because
You are unmuted.
No, my bandwidth. So I'm having
All right.
problems.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, Sister Genesis. We are in a war with a very vicious system of Western society, now finally being opposed against the Arab, or not the Arab, but the Muslim society. Ife, the tradition seems to be too passive for us to prevail. So we would have to spend the time to convert to the Ifa way of life, which is naturalistic, whereas Europeans and now the Islamic groups of people are using technology and bombs, right? So I don't see this. I don't see that proposition as successful.
What is the proposition that you think I'm giving?
The Ifa way of life. The Ifa.
Okay, so you're saying, all right, so the system of knowledge that helps you to understand patterns in life. So that means that you get to see what's going to happen prior to understanding like what's happening in life, what this whole thing means. Not just belief, it's observation, structure, application. Okay, you're trying to say that once you understand the pattern, you can't make a difference, decision and get different results. You're saying that is not going to. That's not a helpful way of looking at things.
I'm saying it's a helpful way for life and families, but not in war. It's
okay.
Not.
So what is happening in regular day life that human beings are dealing with that's going to help them in war? Is it not pattern recognition and not understanding the patterns of things so that they can like be able to survive during a certain thing?
Okay, so we have.
There's your debate right there, or discussion. Reggie ain't gonna debate you, but he will have a discussion with you.
So we have technology. Thank you, sa.neter. We have technology now. We have artificial intelligence that helps us predict better, right? Write better, right? Research better. And your system is Divinity.
What artificial intelligence is based on. That's what our system is.
No, your system is not based on artificial intelligence.
No, artificial intelligence is based on our system.
Artificial intelligence, can you bring up a source for that?
Is based on a binary system. All computers are based on a binary system.
I got a degree in computer
science. And this binary system, I have a degree in I'm a software engineer.
Okay, so it has changed from binary. That was assembly language, right? And so the ones and zeros have morphed into more applications and programs that are predictive. So
right. So is IFA predictive?
No, but IFA is related to God. It's not. God. It's not. I mean,
all these systems, everything is related to God. Even the computer is related to God. What do you mean?
That's what I asked you. I asked you Is this some type of other religion and you said no?
No, I'm just saying everything on this earth is related to God. Everything, there is a God.
Well, I'm
What
asking
I'm
you,
saying
is
is that
Ifa another form of religion, but just called
it's a
Ifa?
it's a way of life. But but
Okay.
the
But that's
divination
what they
system
say
and
about
the
Islam, and that's what they say about the
hold
Hebrews.
on, nope. The
Yeah.
difference is that they don't have a divination system that gives you the that not sorcery where it tells you what's going to happen in the future, but that gives you a summary of what's happening, a predictive summary of what's going on, and then gives you the answer, spits it out just like a computer does. And we've already had shows on this. Now I could do a whole, because I wasn't prepared to like really go deep into the actual science. We could actually do a whole
No.
EFI science, a whole discussion. I wasn't prepared today for that. This was supposed to be an interview, and so, but I can have that whole conversation with you, Reggie.
Do you speak Yoruba?
I do know some of the words as a priest. I know how to do the prayer and different things like different prayers.
Sister, I argue with Hebrews and Christians who are converts, and I have a deep respect for Africa. But if you don't read, if you don't use the direct language, right, that the people who created the system is that, then otherwise you're really just a convert. Can you do divination yourself?
Yes, I can.
You can. All right.
And I know the opening prayers in Yoruba.
Okay, she's a priest, Reggie. Respect her.
And also, I also
stay out of this. Stay out of this.
So, hold on, Genesis. She's a priest, Reggie.
Respect, I don't deal with. Listen, it's just like Jabari is a priest. I don't respect it.
Well,
right?
You don't have to respect
I don't respect
you don't disrespect her.
I know how to do the Iba. I know how to do the Iba. I know how to do Mojuba. I know how to do all those things.
I don't respect the apostle who's the apostle. I don't respect.
Nah, don't do Reggie. Please don't do that, man. Come on, man.
Why?
Don't do that, bro.
Okay, so
I'm saying you are making with her now.
I could open up my divination with English, but I do it in Yoruba, 100%. And the songs I sing and everything that I do is in Yoruba language. So, and the songs during my initiation were sung in Yoruba, not in English. So, in Yoruba, all the ceremonies are done in Yoruba language. They're not done in English. They're not done in Spanish. They're done in Yoruba.
Right. All right, hold on.
Wait, watch this.
Hold on, Reggie. Hold on, Reggie Reg. Hold on, Reggie Reg. I'm getting ready to start a new stream. I don't want to mess up Genesis stream. Will you come on the new stream? It's uploading is live
to the bank.
All right, just give us a couple of minutes. Apostle, would you come on the new stream? I can't hear you. Okay.
I can come on. I just got to pick my daughter up at 3:30.
I know. That's why I said I'm starting a new one, because I know what you got to do. You got to go pick up your baby.
It's 3:51.
So this is important. Reggie, I'm ending it. I'm going live right now, Reggie.
Before she goes, because I have to go to the bank. So I have.
Don't run, Reggie. I'm live right now, Reggie. Peace, everybody. Thank you for coming through. Reggie, just give me like 5 minutes, and then you could go to the bank and come back and get on again. But just give me 5 minutes. Peace and black power, everybody.
Give like a final word, or
yes, go ahead, Genesis. Final word.
All right. So my final word is that when it really comes down to the Ifa tradition, Ifa absolutely. Most people think that they're meeting different people, but they're actually repeating the same pattern in different forms. Ifa helps you identify what the pattern is, whether it's emotional behavior or tied to your decision making. Once you see it clearly, you can't unsee it. That's where the real work begins, because now it's not about awareness, it's about choosing differently. The whole objective of Ifa is about personal character development. And once you are able to develop your character, you're able to move differently in life. So we can talk about, and this happens from a microcosm standpoint of you as an individual, even down to your cells, all the way up to the macrocosm. How if the society is run this way, then things should run relatively smoothly. But the thing is that society is not running like this. So that is the issue. There's patterns. relationships and patterns of things. You know, you said that you're a software IT person. I'm a software engineer. The thing that got me into EFI was understanding that things are based on relationships and patterns. If and then statements. If this happens, then what? If that happens, then this, you know, and then understanding those patterns in life helps you to live life way more abundantly and with way more understanding than just happening to you and you being reactive versus being the controller of the life that you live. And that's what I'm saying, is that you can control your life. You don't have to just be a victim of it. And that's where I say that EFI comes into play. And
all right,
that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
And thank you, Genesis. The link is in the chat, y'all. If y'all want to come and join this one, come on over, Reggie. We live right now. And you can get onto the bank and get that money that you got for me. That's what's up, bro.